So Dan, it's budget time next week, and I guess the big ticket item for you and the legal profession will be stamp duty. Tell me what you think the Chancellor's going to do.
Well, he's certainly got some challenges, hasn't he? He's got to plug the hole in the finances, national finances, caused by the pandemic and all the help and support he's given to businesses and individuals. On the other hand, he's got to do something to kickstart the economy. And one of the big changes that he made, all going back to last March, was abolition of stamp duty for purchases under £500,000 in most cases. And if you can extend that, then I think everyone's going to be happy. I think conveyancers are going to be happy, estate agents, buyers are going to be ecstatic, and all those people whose businesses revolve around home improvements. You go in, you order new furniture, you're having new work done.
And in terms of extending it, what's the ideal time?
Well, he needs to balance it. He needs to balance it between how much is it going to cost against how long does he really want to allow for purchases to take their natural course. The difficulty in providing a cliff edge scenario, as he's done with the 31st of March, is that wherever you set that end date, you're going to have a rush of buyers, and you're going to have some who will negotiate a transaction even a couple of weeks up to that deadline and still hope that they can get it through. But there are other options available to the Chancellor.
Okay, and the whole issue of stamp duty, is there a case for abolishing stamp duty altogether and replacing it with something else?
Well, stamp duty is a relatively low-cost solution to the Treasury to bring in some funds. If you were to create a tax from scratch that had 40,000 tax collectors that you weren't going to have to pay, that were going to get it right all the time, and were going to be under professional obligations to get it right, then it's difficult to think of a better situation and a better way of raising tax than to have some sort of stamp duty. The difficulty is, of course, is it restricts labour mobility. If you've got to move home and you own your own property, are you going to be able to sell your property, move somewhere else for a better job, one that suits your family circumstances perhaps, one that gives you the better opportunity? And of course, putting the right people in the right jobs is exactly what the economy needs.
And finally, do you think stamp duty will figure in a potential rabbit out of the hat for the Chancellor on Wednesday?
Well, he's got the option of extending the existing deadline. He's got the option of cutting rates across the board, which would certainly generate a little bit of interest again in commercial and residential property markets. He's also got an opportunity perhaps to taper some of the harsher effects of that cliff edge that I mentioned earlier on, perhaps allowing a period of time after a deal has been agreed and done before it has to be implemented and completed. And usually with transactions at the moment, taking on average maybe 2 or 3 months or much shorter times at the moment, because we're all trying to get in before that deadline, then extending it by perhaps a couple of months to allow those transactions that have already been agreed to run their natural course.
Okay, thank you. We will pick this up again after next week and see what he actually does. Thank you very much.